What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we had a game against the Minnesota Timberwolves in which the Chicago Bulls failed to deliver on the second night of a back-to-back. Traveling from east to west, we get destroyed. Now, at the end of the day, you can talk about our defense, which was bad, 127 points. You can talk about our offense, which was really bad as well, only 108 points. It's not so bad, but still not great. And altogether, you could see how the Bulls get destroyed, but there's one specific thing, in my opinion, that led to the loss. And we're going to discuss it in this video. It's quite a basic concept, but it's still a concept where if you can't get it done, you will get schooled. It's as simple as that. Before we get any further, if you enjoyed the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls, their game today, and your player of the game as we lose this one 127 to 108. Again, keep in mind, second night of a back-to-back, so guys are not playing. Specific guys are not playing in this one. That is all fine and good. We've come to expect that as of now, but I talked about the key areas. We'll take a look at the overview of the game first and foremost. The Chicago Bulls ended up pretty much losing almost every quarter, except for the second quarter. The second quarter we won. So, a good first half, you could say. Really let down in the fourth, only 18 points in the fourth quarter, which of course helps seal Minnesota's dominant victory over us. But there are some stats here that we need to address. First and foremost, Minnesota had a lot more shots than the Chicago Bulls did. Let's take a look. The Chicago Bulls shot 83 shots in total in this game, which I think is quite low, but nonetheless, 83 shots, 83 field goals, I guess you could say. To the Minnesota Timberwolves, 98. Now, basic maths here. Minnesota did make more, of course, makes sense, right? But if you give a team more shots, there's a good chance they're going to win the game more often than you are. You're going to have to be extremely efficient if you're going to beat a team that takes that many more shots than you. Now, how has that come to be? How did they take so many shots? How did they end up dominating in that area of the game? Well, it's because they dominated in the second area of the game, and that is offensive rebounds. They won the rebounding battle in general. They're a much bigger team than the Chicago Bulls, and they played like it today. But 23 offensive rebounds to the Chicago Bulls 6. That is where I think the game was won and lost. You can talk about turnovers all you like. You can talk about points in the paint. We lost that. You can talk about the three-point shooting, which we lost that too. Actually, we did win points in the paint. Either way, doesn't matter. None of that to me is the biggest reason why we lost the game. It's the fact that we gave up so many offensive rebounds, which led to so many more shots, which led to so many more buckets. I'm assuming the second chance points for the Minnesota Timberwolves is horrifically bad. In terms of the Chicago Bulls, like how much we gave up is horrifically bad. And that's where I think this game was lost. I mean, look, most nights we do win, maybe I'm wrong here, but most nights I personally feel like we do win the rebounding battle. We've got a good guard in Josh Giddey, Lonzo Ball. They both like to rebound in the guard position. We got guys like Patrick Williams that has really taken an extra step off the bench in terms of the rebounding. But today just wasn't the day. I mean, let's take a look at the individual stats and let's take a look at the rebounds here because this is an indication of things. We'll start off with Io 0 rebounds. Bazelis had 5. Vucevic double-double again. But Vucevic with 10 points and 11 rebounds. I expect much more from him at this stage of his NBA season. And maybe he is playing like there's lack of motivation there because he knows his time is up. I honestly couldn't tell you. But 10 points and 11 rebounds is not good enough. Only 4 rebounds for Giddey. He's usually up there in the rebounding numbers. 0 rebounds for Kobe White, which I expect a lot more from him because he's a guy that really likes to try to crash the glass, even at his undersized frame. Patrick Williams, only 3 rebounds. I gave him a lot of respect and praise for how much rebounds he got over the last few games. And then today he comes up with 3. Javon Carter had 2, Julian Phillips had 4, and Jalen Smith, our backup center, only had 5. So, again, rebounding was a big part of the loss today. Gobert had 15 for the Timberwolves. Reed had 10. McDaniels had 8. Anthony Edwards had 9. Mike Conley had 5. Alexander Walker had 5. Do you get what I mean? Do you get what I'm trying to say here? And the fact that a good chunk of them were offensive rebounds means that the Bulls were not following their shots. It means that the Bulls were getting boxed out way too easily. And it just means there was a lack of effort there, in my opinion. So that's where I think this game was truly lost. And when you don't bring effort, whether it's, you know, again, it's the second night of a back-to-back, I understand there's tired legs, east to west travel, I think is an absolute crime that any team has to go through that. Not just the Chicago Bulls, but any team. You should not be having a back-to-back that goes from east to west. That's ridiculous. And again, they really need to fix the scheduling with these games, man. It's idiotic how anything like that can happen. Surely that could be avoided, but that's just me. And yeah, just I understand it. Like, I can understand the tired legs being there, and that's why I'm not tossing and turning and I'm not screaming and raging about it. But at the end of the day, the lack of effort and the rebounding is why we lost the game. So we need to look at ourselves, address the situation. Off of a very good victory against Miami, we need to now assess what type of team we're going to be going forward, how are we going to play, how we're going to approach things, and what type of effort are you going to bring into a game, because it's definitely going to need to be a lot more than this if we're going to win any sort of games in the future. Or maybe this is the start of the tanking that we are about to see. With that being said, I don't really have too much else to say about this game. You could tell where we lost the game. It was very clear. You don't need to even watch the game to address it. All you need to do is look at the stats and you understand how the game went for the Bulls. It was very disappointing. With that being said, my player of the game, tough decision here because I don't think anyone massively played well. You know what? I'm going to give it to Josh Giddey. 19 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. I think that's the player of the game for me. Do you guys agree? Am I having my Australian bias shown again? I have no idea. With that being said, I'm excited for our next game. It's against the Golden State Warriors. Why am I excited? Well, Jimmy Butler is now a Golden State Warrior. So I get to see a former Chicago Bulls player play against the Bulls once more. I'm hoping he's going to be playing in that game. I'd be very devastated if he wasn't playing in that game. I'd love to see how this Warriors team is now going to look with a Jimmy Butler. He also got paid, so congratulations to him. Whether or not the Warriors should have done it is a topic of discussion, I would say. I mean, Andrew Wiggins is a big player to be let go of, but again, if Jimmy can raise his standards back to where it was when he was helping the Miami Heat make the finals, if he can bring that level of competitiveness, no doubt in my mind the Golden State Warriors are a much better team. So it's all about whether or not Jimmy can get back to that extra level, extra step. Can Steve Kerr help Jimmy Butler get his excitement back for the game that he said that he lost? We'll have to figure it out now, won't we? With that being said, I'm excited for that game. Hopefully we do get to see Jimmy Butler play, and it should be a good one. With that being said, it is time to end the video. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.